Simple, sleek and sophisticated, DIY concrete stools make a fun weekend project and are a fantastic addition to your home. Straightforward to make and utilising materials that you may already have, these stools are completely bespoke to your materials and design inspiration. Whether you fancy a modern display stand or a stylish side table, these stools look great with a poised lamp, are perfect for displaying plants and keeping your drink nearby. This project has plenty of room for creativity, so you can customise at any stage to suit your spaces. In this video, Carla, who is a landscape gardener and home renovator, is going to show you how to make a concrete stool. The materials are all available from Wickes and will take a DIYer with moderate skill approximately 2 hours to construct. To account for paint and varnish drying times, we would recommend allowing a weekend to complete this project. Look out for this icon during the video for our DIY top tips. Find the complete tools and materials at the end of the video, or visit the Ideas and Advice Hub at wickes.co.uk for a step-by-step guide. Gather a selection of smooth-bottomed plastic or silicone buckets for mixing and setting, timber dowel lengths for the legs, a bucket of water, and your bag of cement mix. We recommend using the rapid setting ready mix variety for a fast cure, but you can experiment with different types and colours to achieve a variation of finishes. Once you've decided on how many legs your design will have, cut the dowel to size with your chop saw or universal saw, then sand away any rough edges. We created a template to keep the legs in place while the concrete was setting, but there's no one way to do it. To ensure the legs remain stable while the concrete sets, you can try taping the legs to the bucket once in position, or use supporting framework to keep them fixed in place. To create the triangular shape for our stool, we wrapped the dowel legs around an old plant pot and taped them into place. Taping around any firm object will suffice. While experimenting with household items, it's a great way to set the legs in different styles. Just make sure your supporting item doesn't touch the concrete, or it will set into the base of the stool. The ratios for your concrete will depend on the type you choose and the manufacturer, so it's important to check the packaging for any specific instructions. Before you start, choose your mixing bucket, measure out your water, and have a dust mask, gloves, and mixing stick to hand. Place your dowels in position in the empty bucket and work out roughly how thick you want your stool to be. When you have an idea of your desired thickness, attach a piece of tape to the inside of the bucket as a visual guide of where to fill to. Remove your dowels and pour in the cement mix up to the marker. Add in the correct amount of water, then, working quickly, mix well, scraping in from the sides and bottom of the bucket. Give the bucket a good few taps to remove any air bubbles, then lower your dowels into position and set to one side. Most rapid dry concretes will set in a couple of hours, but we recommend leaving the mixture for 24 hours for a solid cure. Once the concrete is dried, carefully remove your stool from the bucket. This is where using a pliable container is handy, so you have a little extra give to work with. Depending on the cement and bucket you use, you may find there's some residue left behind. Sand it away and use for setting concrete again, or repurpose the bucket for a new life. Place your stool legs side up on your workbench and, using an electric sander, rub down the base for a smooth finish. Remove any concrete overspill from the dowel legs with some sandpaper, then give everything a good brush down. We generously apply quick drying varnish to both the legs and the underside of the concrete with a paintbrush, working it in well to any indents or cracks. This not only brings out the natural colour and patterns in both materials, but also seals the concrete to protect its surface. We chose a gloss, but different types of varnish will give you different finishes, so it's worth considering what kind of look you're going for. Once the varnish on the legs and underside of the stool has dried, stand it the right way up and varnish the top and sides of the concrete. Try to follow the natural patterns if there are any, working from the centre outwards. The concrete will get darker as you apply the varnish, but don't be alarmed. This is perfectly normal, and you'll see the patterns and textures reveal themselves gradually as the varnish dries. Concrete is quite absorbent, so give the stool a couple of generous coats for extra shine. For an extra decorative touch, you can use plumbing coupling as feet. They're not just an aesthetic addition, they can also be useful for levelling the stool if you find that the legs are uneven. Putting a penny or a washer in the bottom offers a little extra height to even up your surface. When choosing the feet, they should be around the same diameter as your dowel and should fit by twisting them on. However, you can glue them in place if you prefer. Using leftover materials from other projects is a great way to keep costs down while customising your stool. If you decide to paint the legs, make sure to mask around the concrete with tape to protect it from any stray drips and splashes. We gave our dowel legs an undercoat, then a lick of black paint before applying a gradient effect with grey spray paint. Add a layer of lacquer for a nice high shine, then remove the masking tape once everything's fully dried. And that's it! you're ready to put your new stool on display. Using the basic principles for mixing and setting the stool, you can get really creative. Try using different materials for the legs, such as old tool handles or hairpin legs. Try painting the cement or using cement dye for DIY colours. And experiment with different finishes, feet, sizes and shapes to suit every area of your home. Subscribe to our social channels and share your #WithWickes projects with us. And for more inspiration, ideas and advice, visit Wickes online and in store.